Good morning on this beautiful sunny morning. Can you see all the sun coming through? So I have really busy morning. I have to go to the post office. I've ordered 3 dresses from Karen Millen, and one of them was beautiful, so beautiful, and I almost kept it, but I think it was more of a, I loved the fabric, I loved everything about it, but I think it was more of a, almost like a wedding guest dress. Not the fabric, but the way it looked. Anyway, I looked like a big puffy marshmallow in it. So I need to go and send those back. Then I'm taking Louis to the vet for his checkup. He's gonna hate me, thinking, oh my God, you're taking me away to that place. So he's having a checkup. And what else am I doing today? Oh, I have to make those chocolate chip cookies again. So what happened, I don't think I told you last week, that Max was too early here for lunch and he couldn't have any. And he asked me to bring it to his office. I said, no, I'm not doing that. But then he texted me again. He said, I really want to try those cookies. And I looked at them and I thought, well, I don't want to keep all these cookies in a house. So I wrapped some up and I drove it to Max's office, because that's a softie that I am. And he shared it with some people in the office and they all loved it. And Max was like, oh, will you make us some more? So I thought, well, I have those ingredients, so I need to come back from the vet and quickly start making the cookies, so when he comes for lunch, they are ready. Yes, so that's what I'm doing today, busy. And then I think I might I've got another cupboard that I'm thinking to tidy up. I've been thinking about this cupboard for a while, but I never quite feel in a mood. So yes, we will see how I go. So I have some bad news. So when I went with Louis for the checkup, I was so happy. She looked in his mouth and she was absolutely amazed how quickly he healed and how good his gums looked. And then she hit me with it. I completely forgot even about the lamp. And the results came back. Sorry. And Louis has cancer. It's called hematoid tumor. It's very unusual, especially where it was. So she said she's never seen it in her career. Usually this type of tumor appears on the dog's bottom, on the anal glands. And of course I researched it yesterday, and it seemed to be usually in dogs that haven't been neutered because it's hormone driven. Sorry, I cried all day yesterday, so I thought I'd be okay today. So the next thing to do is we have to go and see a dog oncologist. We have a beautiful big clinic in Guildford. So I didn't make that decision yesterday. I said I have to talk to my husband, and I couldn't really think straight yesterday. Yeah, I couldn't really find much information on it, apart from that it was hormone driven, and usually when they neuter the dog or give him some hormone blockers, it's fine. we don't know if what she's taken out, if she's taken out all of it, and if any of it's gone into his lymph nodes. I'm hopeful because I said to her, wouldn't something show in his blood test? Because, his blood test was perfect. She said, yes, if it was in all his lymph nodes, it would the liver reading would be bad, but his was absolutely fine. So I have hope that it was just there, but what might have to happen, I don't know what will happen. I think you will have to have MRI scan to see if this spread anywhere, and if it hasn't, I think as a precaution they remove a bit more of the tissue and the nearby gland. So we don't really know what's going to happen. I have to call them today now to ask her to refer us, because what she does, she then sends over all his results and everything, and we will go from there. So I just wanted to say sorry that I haven't been answering your comments from last Monday video. I started to answer them, but then in the afternoon a lot of you were saying you're so glad that Louis is okay, because I told you he recovered really well from his dental operation, and I just couldn't read them anymore knowing that he's not okay. So I need to stay positive, because like I said, he seems fine within himself, and because she was asking me if he's lost appetite, and he hasn't. He's just fine. He still plays, he eats as he normally does, and he's just fine. So I'm gonna live in hope that it was just localized to that lump, and we will see. Okay, my lovelies, I better go. Good morning, my lovelies. So I'm going out for coffee with my friend today. I spent yesterday all day researching all the dog cancer stuff. I found a really great dog oncologist, dog cancer doctor called Damien. I can't remember now, but there is lots of interviews with him. He has written a book, and I really like his approach, because I need to get informed. So the oncology clinic called us yesterday. We've made the appointment to see them, so we're taking Louis tomorrow, and I can't really, honestly, my head is just all over the place. That's why I thought I'm just gonna go out for coffee and forget about it for a couple of hours. It's very hard to tell what Louis' case is, because like I said, I haven't even found anywhere the type of cancer that he has on a dog's lip. So this is a bit of a mystery. He is fine, he is no different than he's ever been. In fact, he's much more playful, because obviously that lump doesn't bother him when he's playing with his toys, and his teeth are great now. He's got appetite and everything, so you wouldn't know. So I'm trying not to panic, and hoping that, this is not something that has spread. But I won't know, and they won't know till obviously he will have to have some sort of scan. This is gonna cost absolute fortune. But I'm already thinking, I looked into chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and if that was an option, I I don't think I could put him through it. I am going to try a lot of other supplements and stuff, and that oncologist on YouTube talks a lot about stuff like that can support chemotherapy, and for people who choose not to give a chemotherapy. It's really hard, but I suppose that C word is hard for, people get it every day, and I can imagine how difficult it is to make any sort of decision. But yeah, I'm trying to stay positive. I feel a bit better after reading and watching all this stuff yesterday. It's hard because I watched one oncology vet, and she was all in for chemotherapy. Yeah, dogs don't go through it as people. They don't feel it. They feel great. And I thought, I don't quite believe it. So then I went and read the comments, and most people were saying how their animals suffered on chemotherapy, and some were successful, obviously, because everybody is different. I've started giving him the medicinal mushrooms supplement for a while now. He hates it though. I've got it in powder, and people say I'll give it to them with peanut butter. He hates peanut butter. He must be the only dog that doesn't like peanut butter. So what I did, I bought a gelatin capsule, like your medicine comes in, and I can fill them up with the mushroom powder and give it to him as a capsule with his pate, with his chicken liver pate, because that's what he likes. So that's what I'm going to do. And there are a lot of other supplements and things that basically can strengthen his immune system and help his body fight the cancer. So, but I can't say what I'm going to do, because obviously till I've seen the oncologist, I don't know what I'm talking about. So, okay, my lovelies, I'll probably see you tomorrow. I might let you know how we got on at that clinic. Hello, my lovelies. Oh my goodness. So, we went to that clinic yesterday, and the news is not catastrophic. Honestly, I just don't know. That's all I'm thinking about. That's all I'm reading about. My house is a mess. You see, I can't even get my words out. So, what they told us is that the biopsy showed that there was just few cells near one of the margins, and they are not fast replicating cells, which means that it's a slow growing cancer. And also it might mean that some of the cancer cells have been left and moved on beyond the biopsy site, but they can't tell. So anyway, the first thing to do, he even said I wouldn't even do the CT scan, which sort of means, I'm sure it's not spread somewhere everywhere. He said we could do X-ray, and then, sorry, I'm doing my laundry because I haven't done it for over a week, and then cut much more of his lip out and couple of his lymph nodes, check that, and then see. This still doesn't guarantee that if there is something more, that they would cut it out. If they then biopsied the lymph nodes and there was some in lymph nodes, which would mean that it had spread, that would mean chemotherapy and all that. And I don't think I could put Louis through that. The journey there was awful yesterday, both ways. Sat in traffic, Louis was stressed so much. I would have to keep going there every week or so, I don't know. Anyway, the most important thing is that the diagnosis wasn't catastrophic, like I wasn't told it's a very aggressive cancer, it's probably spread everywhere. So we obviously walked out of there and we have to make a decision what we will do. My priority is to make Louis' life as good as possible, give him the best quality of life he can have. And I don't know if I can put him through another operation. And they were like, yeah, we can do it next week. First of all, I didn't have a very good feeling when I went there. It was a beautiful clinic, and I know they are all highly qualified. It's a cancer research place. But yeah, I just didn't have a good feeling. We went in there. When I made the appointment, I was told who I was seeing. When we arrived there, gone to the reception, they told us we're seeing someone else. And then when we went into the room, someone totally different came in. So I've been told that I'm seeing 3 different people. That I was seeing this one person and I saw a completely different person altogether. It felt, I don't know, I felt like I was sitting in an interrogation room. There was the doctor, there was a nurse, there was taking notes, and there was another woman, a nurse, I don't know, just standing there by the door watching us. I don't know, just felt odd. And my gut feeling is telling me not to do it. I want to do, like the natural ways where I can strengthen his immune system. There are things that you can do and take. I've ordered this book by that Dr. Damien Desla, I think his name is. And what I'm also going to do in a minute, I'm going to call Louis' vet, and I'm going to go and talk to her, and maybe she will help me to make a decision, and ask her if she would support me and help me with maybe treating him naturally when it comes to dosage and stuff like that. Because nothing is guaranteed. I also asked him, because I told you my vet said that the type of cancer he has, it's very unusual place. She's never seen it. So I asked that one at the cancer clinic, has he ever seen it? And he was just, well, I see all sorts. He said it's basically type of skin cancer. But he said it's slow growing, and he said if you leave it, it might come back, it might not. So he gave me the impression that it wasn't something really urgent and he's doomed. But at the same time, they were like, yeah, we can do it next week. Honestly, my head is all over the place because, you start feeling guilty. You think, shall I do it? But then there is no guarantee. He could cut it out, and what that would mean, I would have to take him there. He would have quite a lot of lip taken out, but he said he's got a lot of skin there. Then cutting into here to take the lymph nodes. He would have to stay there for 2 nights, then wear one of those lampshades for 2 weeks on his head. And you know what he is like? He is such a highly strung dog. He stresses so much. When I put him in a car just for 5 minutes to take him anywhere, he is just trembling. He's fine on the way back, but whenever I'm taking him somewhere, And, you know, in the last 6 months, he's been under anesthetic twice. I just hate seeing him going through all this. And is it worth it, me putting him through all that, and it might not work? I think I would maybe be more inclined to do it if he was 3 years old. But he is 10. And I don't want him, if he had to go on chemo, you know, feeling ill and feeling horrible, well, what quality of life is that? So I haven't made Paul and I, because last night we just sat and talked about it for hours. And Paul feels like that as well. He said, I just don't want to see him suffer and putting him through all that thing for something that might not even work. So yeah, we haven't made the final decision. I'd like to go and speak to Louis' vet. And I just want to do what's best for him, really. Not for me, not for other people. What's best for him. You know, he is so healthy. He's got a wonderful life. He's playful, he eats. And if I start now doing all these things to him, he'll be just miserable. So anyway, if any of you have any experience with that or know someone that has experience with that, please leave it in the comments. If you know someone that can help, I would really appreciate it, because like I said, my main objective is to make his life a quality of life. You know, I don't want him to live till he is 15 if the last 3 years of his life are in pain and miserable. I want him to have a lovely, happy, quality life. So it is a very difficult decision, but I'm somewhat relieved that it's not, the news wasn't as bad as I thought. Well, I don't know if I thought it was going to be as bad, because I thought to myself, if this cancer was everywhere, his blood test would have come back a bit funny because he affects the liver and everything, and maybe he would have gone off his food or didn't feel well, but I had nothing of that. So I was relieved that it's not something, you know, that they didn't tell me, yes, he's got 3 months to live or something like that. It was, you can, I suppose, call it positive news, but it was more on a positive side. So, yes, but all I've been doing the whole week is reading up on things, reading studies on some repair-based drugs and natural things, homeopathic things. My head is all over the place. I'm waiting for this book. This book is arriving tomorrow. Might have to change his diet a bit. I already been giving him, not as regularly, the wild mushroom supplement. There is 8 mushrooms that they are supposed to be like high antioxidants, cancer fighting. But I haven't been giving it to him that regularly because it was in powder and he doesn't like it, and I had to always cook it with something. But I had an amazing idea. I thought to myself, I wonder if I can get empty capsules. I might have to talk to you about it in this video. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. But anyway, I found these gelatin capsules. It takes me hours to pour that powder into them, and that's how I give it to him now. So I already been giving him that. And there are other things that I can give him to just, I suppose, keep that cancer at bay. Even if I don't get rid of it, but because it is very slow replicating, if I strengthen his immune system and whatever I'm gonna do, let's hope it will keep it at bay for as long as possible. So that is my first thought, but who knows, tomorrow I might change my mind. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm feeling quite positive. You know, most of the time I go with my gut feeling. and very rarely he lets me down. And as soon as I walked into that place yesterday, I had not very good gut feeling, and talking to them, and my gut is telling me not to do it. But then your head is telling you something different. So it's very, very difficult. But I think if I concentrate on that, my aim is to make his life the best quality of life he can have, then that should help me make a better decision. Now, I probably won't have a video this Wednesday. As you can imagine, my head is in a different space, but he is like my main focus in my life right now. So yeah, any advice would be appreciated. I don't want any judgment though. It's difficult enough to be faced with anything like it. And I know he's only an animal, but to me, he's like my second child. So it's difficult enough to be faced with that, and then dealing with people criticizing you for whatever decision you make. So please think before you write anything. Okay, my lovelies, thank you for listening to me. Sorry, I thought I was done with crying. Just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to me and putting up with it. I really, really appreciate it, and I appreciate your kind words. And I'll be fine. We all will be fine. And like I said, once I've made up my mind and I have a plan, I'll be okay, and we will just carry on as normal. Thank you so much for watching again. I hope you have a wonderful week and stay fabulous. Bye.